Your referee in charge of the action when the cage door closes, Mr. Fred Griswold.
Well, like I said, it's been an interesting night. We watched J.D. Deming give his crazy eyes across the cage at his opponent.
That was the first time I'd seen the crazy eyes here in front of me, and he stared Alexander down the entire time. And I mean, these two guys are just ready to go. JD was about to throw a punch before the bell even sounded. But here we go, our first mixed martial arts matchup of the night. And we got two more coming your way after this. 3 3-minute rounds, and we are underway. A flurry from both opponents. A knee up the middle from Deming.
Yeah, we've got the added element of the takedowns. It looked like Alexander was initiating that takedown. He did not end up on top there. So much action. It's hard to break that down in the moment, but we had JD throwing, I felt like it was the more technical strikes, the straight right hands down the middle. A little bit of wildness from Alexander. And
there was pure chaos there for a second.
Lots of chaos, but I was trying to make the point that I felt like Deming was just a little bit more technical with his chaos. And now we have a high guard from Alexander, possibly looking for a submission.
Alexander trying to get those legs up there, maybe searching for a triangle.
Yeah, I was about to say, Deming needs to be careful sticking his arm back there. It feels like and he did take the leg and pass, but you run the risk of finding yourself trapped in a triangle. Now he's in side control, put some pressure on his opponent.
Things suddenly looking much better here for Deming as he's in side control.
A lot of squeezing going on here.
Kind of got it right across the face and just applying pressure at the moment.
Really more of making his opponent uncomfortable. Not really a submission of any sort.
Alexander was clinging to that neck. Deming throws a right hand as they explode back to their feet.
This has been an explosive matchup.
Deming still kind of got those crazy eyes going on. There's a big right hand.
That big right hand really rocked Alexander. And he is not slowing down Deming.
Deming trying to turn it on. Alexander weathering the storm. Knee up the middle.
He's starting to give him the back of his head. Not really, fighting smart here.
Yeah,
ref kind of stepped in for a little bit, but he regained his composure.
That is one thing you never want to see, is just turning your back. You're turning your back to your opponent like that. 40 seconds left in round number 1. Deming landing some body shots.
Ooh, big knee to the body. You could tell it really keeled Alexander over. Another knee to the body. He's got to be not liking those. Deming's really doing a good job of finding whatever is open. He's landing big shots, but now that he's in the clinch, he's looking for those body shots. I mean, he is just doing good, but Alexander's still in the fight. It could be over. Oh my gosh.
The crowd to its feet in the final 5 seconds of this first round. Alexander starting to land some huge shots. What a finish to the end of this first round.
I cannot believe that. It was for sure looking like Deming was going to end this fight, but Alexander showing that he still had some left in the tank. Had some big shots to land of his own. And, what a end to round 1. That was incredible.
There was a moment where it felt like Alexander was maybe wilting to the pressure. Ate a couple of big knees to the body. Here's Deming. Here comes one of those knees in just a moment. There's the big left hand from Alexander. Whenever they broke out of that, they really got the flurry going for Alexander.
Yeah, it really lit the fire under Alexander, and I think he sensed that he had to do something. And that just shows you that this sport can change so quickly. A lot of people think that it's just a matter of, I felt my punch connect, I need to go in there and finish it. Sometimes when you're going in there and finishing it, you get hit with a shot as well, and it just changes the fight. And that's what we just saw here. He's definitely living up to the nickname Feral.
Woo! It's turned up in here now. Let's go. Round number 2.
All right, I smell it, but I don't want to inhale it. No smoking in the room. No smoking in the room.
Round number 2, both of them bleeding out the nose, opening up with some big shots. Alexander's ready to get in here and show that he is not finished. And Deming just got the body lock. Now he's on the ground.
Good call here by Deming. Alexander's really starting to gain some momentum on the feet, and JD takes it down to the ground.
Yeah, he really showed in round 1 he had kind of the advantage here on the ground. So, smart thing to do, getting overwhelmed with the punches. It was very wild in there. You know, they both were landing, but I mean, if you got the advantage on the ground, it's definitely a safer bet. And he's looking to get that arm around the neck here.
Looking for that RNC. This is not a good position for Alexander, but it's kind of an awkward spot for JD as well.
Yeah, he needs to. He's turning his hips up, which is exactly what he needs to do there. And in this case, the cage worked against Deming because he was not able to get that angle that he really needed to finish the choke. Some good ground and pound from Deming here. Don't grab the cage. I think the ref missed that one.
Once again,
but we had a pretty good view of it.
Deming trying to soften him up again, maybe. Look for that neck. What are you trying to do right now if you're Alexander to break this positioning?
It's a tough one to be in. It looks like Deming is setting up a head and arm triangle, but it's going to be very difficult for him to finish. He can't get the angle that he needs because the cage is in the way. I mean, it's really a double-edged sword here because no matter what Alexander does, it's like, do I give up the back or do I give up mount? Right now, he needs to look for a way to bridge, a way to get Deming off of him, you know, but both of those positions are pretty bad. If he could, well, he had him broken down there. He needs to keep him broken down. He could have bridged him over. He's definitely not going to be able to just push his way out of it like that.
Final 45 seconds, JD Deming on the back here of Gerald Alexander. Once again, looking for that neck.
And it's going to be hard to know how the judges scored round 1. I mean, both fighters looked like they were almost out. So, you know, who do you give it to?
Yeah, it may be whoever. That last image, though, was certainly Alexander winning the round. Curious.
Very curious. So, if round 2 doesn't change in the next 15 seconds, it's going to look like this one is going to go to Deming. He's definitely got more control, more ground and pound.
Hey, we've got blood over here on our table. I'm not sure which one of these guys that's from. Hopefully, it's not from me.
I think my husband's going to be too happy about the blood on his laptop, but it's not a whole lot.
End of this second round. JD Deming in control of that second round. Now, I don't know how this first round is going to be scored, but JD Deming taking the fight to the ground in the second and taking control. Had a couple of submission attempts. Wasn't able to finish the fight off, but without question, a dominant 3 minutes right there for JD Deming.
Definitely. My goodness, has this been an exciting fight. I would love to be able to hear what each corner is telling their fighters, because right now, it could be 1-1 for both sides. You know, I mean, like, we could argue that Alexander won round 1 and lost round 2. We could also argue that Deming won round 2 and lost round 1. Or the judges could have seen it both rounds going his way. We really don't know. So if I was in the corner, I would be telling my fighter, hey, we're 1-1. We got to go into this third round and get the finish or dominate the round.
And kind of going back to that Lopez fight where we got the split decision, it makes you wonder where the judges could be at here. So we go into this third and final round.
Here we go, Vicksburg, third and final round.
Deming has got a look on his face. He's just bleeding. He comes out to the middle and throws a huge right hand.
Good knee up the middle from Deming. And Alexander's being really wild with his punches, but it's hard to fight somebody like that. They may not be technical, but those punches get through. I think I'd be looking for the takedown here if I were Deming, but he's staying up on his feet.
JD Deming, he's got that crazy man in him. You can just tell he's not afraid of anything.
For sure. That was a weird knee, and the ref saw more of whatever Alexander was doing with the cage, but.
Oh, those are big knees landing on Alexander.
I like the clinching from Deming. He's clinching up, then he's you know, given the space to throw punches and then clinching back up. And that knee definitely took the wind out of Alexander.
Yeah, Alexander's completely gassed. He just kind of fell down to the ground there as Deming put his weight on top of him. And now 2 minutes to work for Mount for JD.
Deming being pretty patient here, looking for shots. I think he might be trying to turn his opponent over. He's got the elbow trapped, maybe looking to take the back, but it's going to be hard with that cage in the way. But I mean, if I were him, we've got no reason to rush here. Just look for those shots, land what you can.
Yeah, you know you won the last round. If you're able to ride this one out on top, more than likely you secure the victory.
Yeah, because there wasn't a whole lot, you know, on the feet that really stood out. So it's going to be more about control time and damage on the ground.
Well, the big shot probably landed in the round was the very first punch thrown in this round as Deming just ran right to the middle of the cage. So inside 60 seconds now as JD works on top. Lands a big elbow.
Well,
I think he meant to land an elbow. He landed an elbow.
Maybe some of the elbow hit it on. And the ref is going to call it. He didn't see enough from Alexander as far as fighting back, and there we have it. Fight goes to JD Deming.
So our first fight that doesn't go the distance here tonight, and it is because of JD Deming's pressure on Gerald Alexander in round number 3.
We can see more of the crazy eyes.
Huge moment though for JD as he picks up his first win inside the cage, and he is gassed out in there. Great effort from both fighters, though. Put on an absolute show for us here at AKA 30. Had the fans on their feet at the end of round number 1. But in the end, the fight belonged to JD Deming. And the old gym moves to 0-3 so far here tonight at AKA 30. What a fight, though. I mean, that was the best one we've had to this point. And I got a feeling we're only getting started here at AKA 30. Victoria is into the cage, and she'll have a quick interview with your winner after Dynamite does his part. Step away for just a moment and let the man, the myth, and the legend take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee has called a stoppage to the action at 2 minutes 12 seconds in round number 3, declaring your winner, JD Deming!
Heck of a performance tonight. You had some really great moments, both on the ground and on your feet. But round 1, man, you came out with just a crazy mentality. We could all see you giving the crazy eyes to your opponent. What was going through your head as you start? I can't hand it to you, but what was going through your head when you were starting round 1?
I think you have to be crazy to fight MMA at all. So when I saw my opponent, I knew that I was just gonna let all my crazy out at once.
Well, it was definitely some controlled crazy. You had a lot of straight punches. You had a lot of good takedowns. You almost had him out in round 1. How close did you think you were going to finish him then?
I thought I was so close that when they honked the horn, I thought it was because he had stopped fighting, but it was just the end of the round.
Yeah. So congratulations. You did a great job. How soon are you looking to get back in the cage, and is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
I don't know when I'm going to get back in the cage. I think law school is next on the horizon, but I want to give a big shout out to both of my coaches, Nolan and Mitchell, for believing me and hyping me up every step of the way. And I love Vicksburg, and I'm queer, and I'm proud.
Well, congratulations, great performance. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for JD.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through.
What a statement there from JD Deming as he not only picks up the win, the says he's off to law school. That's pretty good stuff. Not a whole lot of lawyers out there that are crazy enough to step inside the cage, but you know what? You probably got to be a little crazy to be a lawyer as well. But big shout out to JD Deming for getting it done and finishing off Gerald
He's going to be one heck of a lawyer. I would hate to have to.
Imagine you walk in the courtroom and he's just staring at you like that to open it up.
Giving you the crazy eyes before he steps in front of the judge.